I am William Poett. I am your host of Mindset Mastery, which normally takes place on Monday. This week we had some wild technical difficulties, but I made a commitment, and that commitment was to show up and lean in and serve you guys. Serve you guys with tools, tips, and techniques that, when applied, will optimize your mindset. When your mindset becomes optimized, how you show up in the world changes, your perspective changes. And that's what this training is all about. Really, really glad to be here. I think what could be the best training I've ever offered for you guys today. So I am really, really excited. We're going to take a breath. We're going to lean in. My only request, I have two actually. If you find value in this training, please share it. And more importantly, if you find value in the training, apply it. So that's what we're here for. Quick overview. What is mindset? We know if we had 1,000 of the world's peak performers in an auditorium, and I was to ask them, how critical do you believe your mindset is to your success? I'm pretty sure 1,000 hands would go up and they would all say it's the most important thing, because our mindset, or our frame of mind, determines how we think, how we act, and how we move in the world. And it's based on three things. According to psychology and neuroscience, your mindset is built out of your beliefs, your values, and your dominant feelings. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And beliefs. What are beliefs? Beliefs are your I am, it is statements. These have been coded or programmed into us since we were born. And our beliefs, our I am, it is statements, determine how we act and how we react with everything around us. So what we're going to do today, and I believe you are going to find incredible value in this. I'm going to be sharing with you 6 thought habits, which, when embraced and adopted, will become 6 beliefs. These 6 beliefs, if you didn't take another class, if you didn't read another book for all of the rest of this year in 2023, and you really focused on embedding, cellularizing, and acting on these 6 thought habits, I guarantee you the best year of your life. I guarantee you more impact, more joy, more everything that you could possibly imagine. So these are critical. You're probably going to want to watch this training more than once. And I really thought about, as we are in December, day 1, right? Day 1 of the last month of the year. This is the 12th round. Going back to my time as a martial artist, and I did it all. Kickboxing. My specialty was knife fighting. I owned a chain of martial arts schools. I got to work with, study under, and train some of the very best in the world. Special operations team members, FBI's hostage rescue team. I really got to be with and around the absolute best. And I know back in January, you had incredible hopes for this year. I know you intended 2022 to be the best year of your life. I also know it's been a year full of challenges, and yet it's not too late. If we can embrace a new way of thinking, if we can embrace a new way of being and moving, this year can change everything. So that's my hope. That's my intention. If you are, where are you joining me from? That's always fun to know. We get people who pop in from all over the country. I can't wait. I don't think we've had an international viewer yet, but I know you are coming. So just share with me, where are you listening in from? And let's roll up our sleeves and let's begin the training. So 6 thought habits of mindset masters. These are all I am statements. And this next idea, I know for me, it blew my mind. I hope it'll do the same thing for you, because sometimes we have to blow things up to create something new again. These are all I am statements. These thought habits. Hey, there is Mr. Schmidt. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. So I want to talk about the two most powerful words in the English language. And there's some documentation. The good land. Nice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What are the two most powerful words and the most often misused words in the English language? And these two words are going to be at the front of all 6 of these seed habits. And these seed habits, we train everyone who goes through our advanced 9Q training is trained in these seed thoughts or these principles. Today, you're going to get an overview, and you only need an overview for them to have a radical impact on your life. And kind of with a little drum roll, what are the two most powerful words in the English language? They are I am. I am are the two most powerful words in the English language. And in fact, the third commandment, if you follow the 10 commandments back in the Old Testament in Judaism, really address the power of these words. And so what am I talking about? It's super cool how I came to this realization. This is probably going back 10 years ago. I was working, my daughter was watching a show kind of next to me. So that was kind of my idea of parenting, which probably wasn't, I know it wasn't the most engaging, interactive. And she was watching a cartoon about, I think it was about Moses. And it was about Exodus and what was happening. And in the conversation with Moses and God, when God says, go into Egypt and free my people, Moses says, who shall I say sent me? And God says, tell them I am sent you. I am that I am. And so my brain kind of goes, wait a minute. And I go back and I look up the 10 commandments and the third commandment. So think about this, because this is critical. This is such, I believe, such a gift for all of us as we move into the holidays. The third commandment is, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. And if you look at the 10 commandments as they are written in Judaism, it says, do not misuse God's name. So I want you guys to think about this, because this is so critical. In the Old Testament, the only time God's name is named, it is I am. So what does it mean to take God's name in vain? We all know people, and we're probably guilty of having said at some point in my life, God bleep. And when people say God bleep, I've never seen anyone struck by lightning. I've never seen any terrible thing happen. It seems to be a fairly survivable action, but that's not what it's talking about. Taking God's name in vain is anytime we put a pejorative behind the words I am. And I want you to think about this, because this requires massive ownership. And mindset masters own their lives. They own their outcomes. They own their power. And so when you say, I am unworthy, I am not good enough, I am unequal to the task, what you're doing is you are breaking the commandment. You are, and again, a little bit of a language lesson. The word sin means literally to miss the mark. So what I am doing when I put a pejorative behind those two words is I'm taking all of my power, and we are all powerful beyond what you could possibly imagine. I'm taking that power and I'm using it to lock me in a life that's less than the life that I deserve. So that's what this training is all about. And I really hope this sinks in for you guys as we move into the holidays, as we wrap up 2022. I want to make sure this is the best year ever for you guys. And in order to do that, we need to optimize. We need to elevate our mindset. We need to replace old disempowering beliefs with new, more empowering beliefs, and really taking ownership and understanding the root of this one commandment. Commandment number 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Thou shalt not misuse God's name. Well, if you do your research and study in the Old Testament, God's name is I am. How many times have we done this? How many times I've done it? I'm not good enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart. I mean, here's the thing. Marketers spend trillions of dollars every year to tell you, to reinforce a mindset of not enough. You're not tall enough. You don't drive the right car. You don't wear the right watch, whatever it is. I am not enough. And so when I adopt that, when I build that belief system into my mindset, I'm going to naturally limit myself. And so what I'm going to do with you guys, my holiday gift, my Let's Win Round 12 gift is going to be, I'm going to give you 6 I am thought habits. And I've been training in these for years. Our 9Q practitioners at a more advanced level. This isn't in the basic training. So you guys are kind of getting the accelerated course today. 6 IMC thoughts. And we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about each one of these. But for you guys who are listening, give me a thumbs up or give me a yes if this is starting to resonate with you. Because when you accept your power, when you accept and you put an I am of power together in reference to who you are, to the truth of who you are, you access more power, more energy, more vibrancy than when you put a pejorative behind those 2 words. So again, we're building this model, these new belief systems on an understanding of the power of the 2 most powerful words in the English language. So let's look at the 6 I am thoughts. And I would recommend, and depending on how deeply you want to do this work, write them down. And I might spend a day on just one of these and go to the next and really spend some time thinking about it, meditating on it, praying on it, really looking at how ownership, cellular ownership of this belief would change your life. Because I guarantee you, these 6 adopted and cellularized can change anything. And before I give you the 6, let's talk about cellularization. I was at a training the other day and someone spouted something that I can't stand. And I know you guys have been taught this. And again, it is a seed thought or a mind thought that is completely not true. And that is, and you can finish it for me, knowledge is power, which is completely untrue. Knowledge isn't power. Knowledge only becomes powerful when it's valid and it's cellularized. And this goes back to me being a knife fighting instructor. In 5 minutes, I could show you the counter to any attack you can imagine. That knowledge, you understand it, you can demonstrate it. That knowledge is valueless because 3 months from now, you get attacked in the middle of the night with that exact same technique that you have the knowledge to counter. It's surface knowledge. It's not cellular. It isn't a part of who you are. And so it's going to be of no value. How many times have you read a book where you thought, this is great information? Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of a Highly Effective Person. If you can't tell me right now the 7 habits, if you don't own them on a cellular level to where you are living them, they're of zero value. So as I share these with you, you really got to make a decision. Are you going to train in them? 9Q, our company, we are a training company. A lot of organizations do information dumps. You do a seminar, you do a workshop, you read a book, you take a class, and that's it. You're not going to retain it. You're not going to take ownership of it, and it's not going to transform you. We have to train in order to cellularize things. So now let's go into the 6 thought habits of mindset masters. Number 1, and these are all built upon each other, and they are unbelievably powerful. Number 1, I am inherently worthy. I want you to think about this. I am inherently worthy. So goes against most of what we've been taught. We've been taught that our worth is dependent on our performance. Our worth is dependent on our education. Our worth is attached to things and behaviors. And as a result of that belief system, we have a feeling, we have a sense of unworthiness because there will always be someone taller, better looking, with more money, with a greater education than you. And yet the truth is, and parents recognize this, I am inherently worthy. Think of it as a volume switch. So when we're born, that's at 100%. For the first, I don't know, year, 2 years of our life, we contribute nothing. And yet we are loved purely, and everything we want, everything we desire is given to us. And if you are a parent, think about the moment your child takes their first breath, there isn't anything you wouldn't do for that child. And literally, the entire world is laid at that child's feet. All of the teachers, all of the education, all of the beauty, all of the art, all of the amazing experiences. If you're a person of faith, we are taught we are children of God. I am inherently worthy. So when you own that on a cellular level, everything in your life is going to change. Of course, you're going to work out. Of course, you're going to adopt the behaviors of someone who is inherently worthy because it's who you are. Your expectations are going to change. Your belief in yourself, your confidence, everything is going to change. And so, unfortunately, the world has done everything in its power to dim that switch, to turn that volume down. I am inherently worthy. I've done an exercise with clients and they've written that down and I've asked them to articulate it and they've started to cry because on one level, they still know there's truth to that. And on another level, they know there is nothing in their life that really reflects that truth. So that's the first one. I am inherently worthy. Can you say it? Can you own it? Can you cellularize it? Let's go through the next because I got 6 of these. We might deep dive these in the future if you want to, but just owning these and being aware of these can have a radical, massive, elevating impact on your life. Number 2, and quick trivia, as training trivia, these are elemental. Going back to understanding nature, they're in the ancient times, in the pre-Socratic elemental model, void, earth, water, fire, and wind. There is an I am attached to each one of these elements. We just did the first, the void. I am inherently worthy. The next I am is I am perfectly unique. I love this. It's fact. Your DNA. You are so loved by God, by the universe, that in the moment of your first breath, a new being came into existence that has never been before. And there is so much power in this I am. And really think about it. The men and women who changed the world, the Elvis Presleys, the Picassos, the Mother Teresas, the Martin Luther Kings, the Elon Musks, they are revered because they own their individuality. Your power, my power exists in my capacity to show up as I am. And unfortunately, what happens, and again, so much of this is conditioning. When you conform, you are denying your uniqueness. When you rebel, the irony is when we conform and we rebel, it's the same, 2 sides of the same coin. In both instances, I'm denying a core part of my power. When you show up as the authentic, amazing leader that you are, when you bring your perfectly unique gifts to an organization, when you own and invest in developing your perfectly unique talents, you really become a miracle. You really become a gift to everyone you come in contact with. When you attempt to copy and parrot and be some watered down version of someone you think you're supposed to be, you're not bringing any value. And we've all done that. When we're speaking in public and we're worried about being accepted, or we're worried about what people are thinking about us, and we don't shine as we were meant to shine. And so we've got the first I am inherently worthy. The second I am perfectly unique. That leads right into the third thought habit of a mindset master, and that is I am continuously growing. Now, I'm 60 years young, and I mean that literally. And I love learning. I am constantly studying, accessing new insights and information, finding people that are masters at things that I am not a master at, and immersing myself in this experience of growth. The universe is in constant expansion. When we are growing, we are thriving. When we stop growing, we stagnate. There's nothing sadder. Some of the saddest people I meet are people who say, "Oh, I've got this. I can do this with my eyes closed." You see these people in their 20s and 30s that have stopped being curious, that have stopped being passionate students of life. I am continuously growing, and I would invite and challenge you to grow elementally, grow physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. Take all the aspects of you. You know, there's something called the specific adaptation, the SAID principle, specific adaptation to imposed demands. We have been engineered. We are such amazing beings. We've been engineered that when you add loads to your body, whether you're learning gymnastics or whether you're learning calculus, your body will grow and morph to meet those demands. And so having a scientific process that sets you up so that every week in our training at 9Q, one of the intentions is to ensure that the person you will be in 6 months, the person you are today could never compete against. A growth mindset, always growing. So can you guys feel the power in these? These are really, really critical. They're beyond affirmations. These are I am seed thoughts that will change and really optimize your mindset. So let's keep going. We have number 1, I am inherently worthy. Number 2, I am perfectly unique. Number 3, I am continuously growing. Number 4, I love this. I am motivated from love. Critical, really subtle distinction. 90% of the population, we are motivated, they are motivated for love. And I want you to think about this. And unfortunately, we do this to our children. And when we are attempting to teach them how to move and work in society, we can be guilty of giving love when a certain behavior is acted on and removing love when what we consider an inappropriate behavior happens. And so as young people, we learn it feels terrible to have love removed from us. So we start learning to act for love. Well, here's the problem. Whatever action you are taking, if you are acting for love, by definition, you are not in it. When you act from love, it requires an opening, a recognition that I am the source of love. Love flows through me. A person of faith will believe that love comes from God. It doesn't really matter where you believe it comes from, as long as you recognize that it flows from you. And it is so empowering because when my actions are motivated from love, I become fearless. I can speak to 1,000 people and you can do whatever you want. You can love me, you can hate me, you can share, you can walk away. But I am acting from love. And when I am acting from love, it's the best feeling in the world because I am in love. I am in that which I desire and need most, and I'm giving it away freely, and it doesn't matter whether it's reciprocated or not. This is such a powerful, such a core belief system. So let's keep flying through these. You guys, and again, you guys are getting we're going to touch on these. You got to spend time, write them down, meditate, think about them, train with them. And if you want to learn more, message me, and we can take you into a deep dive of these. We've got 4, we got 2 more to get to, and we will do it in our 30 minutes. Number 1, I am inherently worthy. Number 2, I am perfectly unique. Number 3, I am continuously growing. Number 4, I am motivated from love. Here we go. Number 5, I am a gift. I love this. I love this. I am a gift. I want my children to recognize that they are gifts. I want, and think about this from a core perspective. How many people believe they are victims? I am a victim. Wow, talk about misusing God's name, I am not a victim. I am a creator. I am a gift. And when we own and recognize this, what do? I constantly work on refining my gifts, getting better at sharing my gifts. The most successful men and women on earth, the wealthiest men and women on earth, are the ones who have identified what their gifts are, cultivated, nurtured, developed them, and then become experts at sharing them. Wolfgang Puck. We all know Wolfgang Puck. He loves to cook. He's passionate about cooking. Food, cooking is his gift. And he's made millions and millions of dollars because he's become an expert at sharing that gift. And so this brings us back to our final. And when you learn this elementally, it creates this beautiful energetic loop. Our final I am is I am joyfully realizing my full potential. And here's the such a beautiful belief system. As long as I'm breathing, there's more for me to learn. There's more growth. There's more possibility. There's more potentiality. And it's a journey that never ends in this form until this form ends. And so the key point, the critical point is, I am joyfully. Are you in joy right now? Are you joyfully realizing your full potential? Today is your joy should not be attached to a future state, a future event. Your joy is right here, right now. Your joy is accessible to you. And when you adopt and embrace and can embody the previous 5 I ams, this becomes a natural consequence of this. These are so powerful. They have such possibility to impact. Imagine, again, at 9Q, we work with organizations. Imagine your company. I don't care if you have 10 employees or 100,000 employees. If every member of your team embraced these principles, if every member of your team embraced and trained in these 6 thought habits of mindset masters, everything would change radically. So let's do a quick wrap up of these. I'm so glad. I'm sorry I missed you guys on Monday, but I am relentless in my commitment to share and to serve you guys. So let's do it. Let's bring them home. Number 1, I am inherently worthy. Number 2, I am perfectly unique. Number 3, I am continuously growing. Number 4, I am motivated from love. Number 5, I am a gift. And number 6, I am joyfully realizing my full potential. And what's cool is just from this little chat, you can see that I own these on a cellular level. I have trained them into my being. And as a result, they impact how I see the world. They impact how I move. They impact everything that I'm doing. So I am so grateful for your time. I'm so grateful for your energy. I want to wrap with this idea. If you are a leader, if you have an organization, if there is one person that reports to you, I believe with all my heart that you have a moral obligation to them, because the time they are in your employ, they're gifting you with their life. And most adults spend the greatest part of their adult life working. So take that obligation, create a workspace, create an environment where you really uplift your people. You really empower your people. Great quote from Simon Sinek. Leadership is not being in charge. Leadership is about empowering the people in your charge. So I am William Poett. I am president of 9Q Solutions. If you would like to do any more individual work, I do have 1 or 2 slots for private executive coaching. If you have an organization, our platform is scalable. We can empower a team of 1,000. We can empower a team of 100,000 people with habits and tools that move the needle. And they move the needle in a way that everybody feels better. So I'm so grateful for your time. I'm so grateful for your energy. We will be together next week. It's not going to be Monday morning. Might be Tuesday or Wednesday around noon. I will be sharing it right here on our page on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and Facebook. I am so grateful. If you found value in this, do me a favor, share it with your team. And until next time we meet, go make some great happen. I am amazing. I really appreciate and value you guys. And that is it. I am going to bounce. Thank you. Happy holidays. We've got one more month. Let's crush 2022 and let's be set up for the best 2023 of our lives. So that's it. And